In this video, we are going to put together a simple weather system so it's going to randomly rain on your player's head in your Godot ARPG. Let's have a look at how to do it. The only asset you're going to need to be successful in this one is the Raindrop, which I've popped up on itch in the Bogan World resources, so go and find it there. It will, of course, also be in the GitHub repository for this particular lesson. Do is create a brand new scene. So let's create a new scene. We're going to give it a node 2D as our root node, and then we're going to rename that one to rain. Now we want to have a child of that, which is going to be a CPU particles 2D, and this is what's going to generate our rain for us. And we're also going to want to have another canvas modulate, because when it rains it gets a little bit dimmer too, doesn't it? So let's also have that in there. Let's get that one done right now. So let's just go over and get just a slightly grey colour, not too dark or anything like that. That's literally all I want to do there. So now let's click on our CPU particles 2D. That's where all the action is going to happen. So from the top, we're going to set our amount to be 100. We're going to have expand our time one now, and we want to have our lifetime as 5. We're going to go down to our randomness. Let's make that 0.5, and let's do the same for our lifetime randomness. Let's keep scrolling down and open up drawing, and this is where we've got this texture empty, and that's what we want our raindrop for. So grab your raindrop texture, drop it into there. It now has a texture. Excellent. So if you keep scrolling down to emission shape, at the moment we've got it set for point, and you can actually see that happening. If I move this around a little bit, oh hang on, where is it? There. If I move that around a little bit, you can see it. I'll put the canvas modulate back. You can see how it's all coming out of one little point there. So this is what we're going to play around with now. So instead of point, where is it there? We want to change this to rectangle, and then our X we're going to make, I think about 400 is probably about as wide as that will need to be to cover that whole screen. Bring it up to the top there, and there you can see it basically goes from one side of the screen all across to the other side. Excellent. So we're going to keep on going down now. We're not quite finished yet. As you're scrolling down, the next thing we want to have a look at is our direction. So let's open that up. At the moment it's X is 1 and Y is 0, and then spread of 45, that's fine. Actually it's gravity, that's what I wanted. At the moment X is 0 and Y is 980. That 980 is fine, that's just your normal gravity. But for our X, let's just get this coming in on a bit of an angle. I don't know about you, rain where I'm around doesn't normally fall straight from the sky. It normally falls on a bit of an angle. So that 200 pixels should be what we need to make that happen. All right, let's save our progress. We're going to save it as rain.tscn. And our next step is going to be having a look at our script for it. Going to be exceptionally easy, but let's get on to it now. So rain, our root node, add a new script, call it rain, that's fine. Ooh, it's a bit small. All right, let's make it so we can all read what's going on. So what we're going to do is get rid of our ready function, because we don't need that. We're only going to have a process function. And what we're going to do in here is if global time dot is raining, and I know I haven't set this up yet, we'll do it in a moment. We're going to set our visible to true. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to set our visible to false, just like that. That is the entirety of that script. That's all I wanted to do there in our rain script. Time script is what we're going to expand now. Now, if you haven't been following along, don't stress too much. You can basically just use what we've got here. So we created a new singleton, a new global script recently to track our time. And we're going to use this basically for all those environmental controls like weather as well. And this is where we're going to play around. Now, there's basically this chunk is still going to be in the middle, but it's going to get swallowed by a lot of other code. So what I might do is actually do a copy and paste here, just because I take forever to type and I'm really not a very good typer. So from the top, we've still got our global time and our full cycle durations. Those are the same. We have, however, introduced all these new variables here for our rain. So a new variable called is raining, which is what we referred to just before in the rain script. Then we've got how long do we want it to rain for? So 10 seconds, you can change that if you like. Our rain timer, so this is just to keep track of the rain. Our interval, how long between checking to do rain, basically. So we don't want it to constantly rain. We don't want it to rain every so often. We want to have a bit of randomness. And now we've got this chance of rain 1 out of 1 over 1.5. So you can play around with that too. And then we've got our timer node there to control those rain checks. All right, in our ready function, this is all new content. All right, so basically above line 25 is all new, apart from those two variables and our extends. So our ready function, we're going to randomize, and then we've got all that timer stuff set up. Auto start, true, one shot, false, all this sort of stuff, add check. Here is where we're connecting to our function down here. Let me just make that a little bit smaller so the whole thing can fit on the screen. There we go. But I'll get more. No, that's a small bit. Let's pop that out then. All right. Just try and get as much of it on the screen as I can for you. So there's our ready function. We then in our process function still have the exact same stuff going on with our time. We then check if it's raining and then deal with that. And then that's just that little timer check at the bottom there. So that is our new global time script. And that gets us pretty close to ready to give this a test, I think. What we really have left to do is add that rain scene to our world scene or whatever scene you want it to rain in, and then give it a test. So let me find my world scene, grab the 2D view. So that's it at the moment. Let's add in our rain scene as well. All right, and straight away you can see the particles start falling because that's just the way they work. I think we're pretty much ready to jump in and give it a test and just see if we get some random rain. Test it then. Play. All right, start. Let me go and grab my light. Let's also make our window a bit bigger so people can actually see what's going on. All right. Back out into the wilderness. All right, so it's daytime. There you go. There's a bit of rain falling now. Rain has cleared up. Screen gets lighter and darker if it's raining or not based on that canvas modulate. There you go, it's raining again. So that's obviously a bit too frequent, but you can change all of that in the settings. I think that is one successful Okay, what you must get done for it to work is you've got to make that rain scene and script. You're also going to want to update your global time script and add the rain scene into your main scene and any other scenes you want to have rain in. What you may like to do is experiment with all the different particle settings so you get a feel for how to make it rain in the way you like. And what you might consider is if you've got any trees with animations, think about how you might connect those animations to move faster when it's raining, or possibly how to change the rain to also have maybe a snow cycle as well. That was just a quick one, but you should now have occasional rain in your ARPG. Next time we're going to have a look at character selection. So before we start the game, we're going to pick which character we want to play with, and then it's going to select that one for us, and that will be us. The quote I'd like to leave you with this time is from Omar Khayyam. And he said, "Be happy this moment, for this moment is your life." Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.